Well, good morning, students. We are now headed into Tuesday here, and we are starting section 2.2, properties of multiplication. So yesterday we dealt with properties of addition, and hopefully those will come back here as you do those things. We will be doing some similar things here today. So here we start with our review, and let's start with maybe some reminders from yesterday. So we want to name the property of addition that's illustrated. So you have the a plus b, and you have the a plus b in parentheses plus c, and then you've moved and you've got to c. Just because there is parentheses here doesn't mean necessarily associative property. Okay, that you're associating those things. Hopefully that reminds you of some of those terms yesterday. But we still have the parentheses around the a and the b. All right, the b and the a and the b. It's not commutative, so that may be the first place where you jump. I'm sorry, it's not associative. It is. I said the wrong one. It is commutative. Okay, so it is commutative. All right, the second one we have a plus b equals c. There's a fly flying around here and it's bothering me, so pardon my swatting at things. A plus b in parentheses plus c equals a in parentheses b plus c. So now you notice a little bit different this time. You have the a and b just like you did the first time in parentheses, but now you don't have the a and the b in parentheses. You have the b and the c in parentheses. Okay, so we've regrouped with different variables or different numbers here, and so this one is going to be the associative property. So here, the third one, we have a plus b in parentheses, and that's added to 0. Anything added to 0 says the same thing as the answer is the same thing as the add-ins there, and those answers are going to be a plus b, and so that is the property of identity. On 4, number 4 here, we have a plus negative a. A plus negative a, well, that's the opposite, so this would be the inverse property, additive inverse. And the sum of any two negative genders, this is number 5, the sum of any two negative genders is a negative integer, and that is the closure property. All right, so now we're going to come to some notes here, things that you should take down as we talk about multiplication. Here is the closure property of multiplication. The closure property of multiplication for all integers a and b, ab is an integer. Okay, so we have a and b, so remember that ab together means multiply. Okay, we're multiplying. This is multiplication. Okay, so we've got that. AB is going to be an integer. So 2 times 2 doesn't give you something with a 0.5 in there. It's not going to happen that way. So anytime I multiply, I'm going to get an integer. I'm not going to get a fractional number or decimal number. All right, so that's the closure property of multiplication. The commutative property of multiplication. All right, so hopefully this reminds you of what we did yesterday. The commutative property of multiplication says for any integers a and b, ab is equal to ba. All right, so a times b is equal to b times a. We know that to be true. So if I had 3 times 6, it's the same as 6 times 3. You're going to have 18 for both of those. So that's the commutative property of multiplication. All right, commutative property of multiplication. So we have closure and commutative, excuse me. I'm having a hard time talking today. It's just one of those days. Anyway, so here's an example. Use the commutative property to write an equivalent expression for each of the following. So you have 6 And in parentheses, because a 6 is right next to parentheses, this means multiplication. So 6 in parentheses, or 6 and then open parentheses, negative times negative 9, close parentheses. 6 times negative 9 is going to be, hopefully you know what that is. Hopefully you've said it by now. All right, it is negative 54. All right, you're going to do that by changing these around now. All right, so commutative property means they commute, they travel, they change. Okay, change location in the problem. So negative 9 times 6 instead, and that's the same answer. And then here we have the second one, x times y is also equal to y times x. So that's the commutative property. These things can change, they can travel. Okay, they move back and forth. X is on one side here, it's on the other side over here. Y is on different sides there. The same thing is with the 9 and the 6, the negative 9 and the 6. All right, another definition, the associative property of multiplication. Remember we talked yesterday about associative, or things that are grouped together. All right, and here we have that definition. For any integers, a, b, and c, so a, b, and c, we have a times b, in parentheses, this means times c, is equal to a, in new parentheses, regrouping them, different numbers, because we got b and c here, we had a and b over here, a times, in parentheses, b times c. Okay, that is a truth. Okay, that is a truth. So here's an example. Use the associative property to write an equivalent expression for the following. So you have in parentheses, you have negative 7 times 8, close parentheses, and that's times 4. Okay, so negative 7 times 8 is negative 56. Negative 56 times 4 is 224. Okay, so let's look at this here. So the associative property means I can regroup them. So here is our regrouping. We have negative 7 here. Now we have 8 times 4 in parentheses. Okay, and these are going to be the same thing. 32. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 times a negative 7 is going to give you negative 224, just like this one. Okay, so here's another one. We have 3, in the letter B here, 3 times, in parentheses, 5 times n. Okay, so I could change that. I can reassociate these, and I have 3 times 5 in parentheses, all times n. All right, it's going to give you the same answers. Okay, that's what these properties are for, so that when we get into problems, when we get into discussing different things that are happening in a math problem, when you see something, 3 things that are multiplied together, you can regroup those using the associative property, or they can travel using the commutative property. Okay? All right, so I didn't give you that answer. That would be 15n. 3 times 5 is 15 times n. Okay? And again, remember here that 15n is meaning 15 times n. Okay? All right. So here's some skill check. So you're going to write an equivalent expression for these 2 things. We'll do this on the board here. You can feel free to stop it if you want to try it here. Both of these. So you have negative 8, or 8 times, excuse me, in parentheses, negative 4. So you can redo those. Okay, and the equivalent expression here might be negative 4 times 8. Okay, that's really the only option you've got there. And then for the m times nt, or n times t, then you have the equivalent expression of mn in parentheses here. Mn in parentheses, where the m was on the outside here, now the m and n are together, and the t is by itself on the outside. That is the commutative property. I'm sorry, the associative property. I said the wrong one. Okay, the associative property. All right. Then we have the identity property of multiplication. So this means that any integer, a, this is the integer that they're using, a times 1 equals 1 times A. All right, we know that to be true because of the commutative property. And then that is going to equal A. Okay, it's going to equal A. So, and this is, we start off with these. We always love the ones family in multiplication because 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 1 is 3, 4 times 1 is 4. Any number times 1 is going to give you that number. It's the identity property. The identity property of multiplication. So that is what's taking place here. So here is our example. Use the identity property to write an equivalent expression for each of the following. So negative, or 1 times in parentheses, negative 42. All right, those are in parentheses. So you have, the answer is negative 42. That's the identity property. So then you have B there, 1 times x, or 1x is equal to just plain x, okay? Because you have one of the x's. So just be aware of that. That's how that works, and hopefully you'll understand this. The zero property of multiplication. Zero property of multiplication is even easier than the ones family, right? Because 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0, right? Don't get it confused with the identity property of addition. Okay, 0 times 1 is not 1. Okay, 1 plus 0 is 1, but 0 times anything is always 0. Okay, so for any integer a times 0 equals 0. Okay, here's again another skill check. So name the property of the multiplication illustrated by each of these skills here. So 47 in parentheses times negative 9, or equals negative 9 in parentheses times 47. Do we know what that is? Can you say it together? It is the commutative property. The commutative property. Okay? They have traveled. They have commuted. All right? We have this 47 here. This time it's inside the parentheses here. The 9, it was inside the parentheses, it's traveled. This is all just multiplication, simple multiplication. They are traveling. There's only 2 terms, so there's no regrouping. They're all together here. So the 47 and the negative 9, the 47, we've just switched where they're multiplying from. All right, 39 times 1 equals 39. What is that? Well, let's say it all together. That's the identity property of multiplication. Identity property, all right? The number times 1 is itself. 39 times 1 is 39. 283 times 1 is 283, all right? Any number times 1 is going to be itself. All right, so then the number 3 there, it's a little more complicated looking. We have negative 15, then we have some brackets, 2 times, in parentheses, negative 8. And then we have, the brackets have changed in the second half. We have negative 15 grouping with 2 in parentheses. Then we have all of that multiplied by negative 8 on the outside. So this is what property? It is the associative property. The associative property. All right, good. Then we have our next skill check. Numbers 4 and 5 here, naming the properties. So we have 1,000 or negative 1,892 times 5 minus 5. All right, remember our orders of operations. We do things inside the parentheses first. So 5 minus 5 is 0. All right, so 0 times 1,000, negative 1,892. I told you I wasn't talking very well today. Is equal to 0. Well, that is the zero property of multiplication. All right, anything times 0 is always 0. All right, then we have number 5. We have 8 in parentheses 6 times a equals new parentheses here. It's moved. The 6 times a was in parentheses before. Now we're grouping 6 and 8 together instead of the a. All right, inside the parentheses. So that is, do you remember? It is the associative, and it is the commutative, because as we look at it here, we have 8 times 6 here, but now we have 6 times 8 here. So not only have they been regrouped, the 6 and the 8 and the 6 and A, but they also have now switched places. The 8 and 6 is now 6 and 8. Okay, so that is the associative and the commutative properties. A couple more here. So you're going to use the properties of multiplication indicated to write an expression. So 4 times 5, they want you to use the commutative property. Okay, so 4 times 5 is going to instead be 5 times 4. That's the commutative property. And then number 7 here, we have 18 in parentheses 7 times n. And they want us to use the associative property. So associative property means I'm going to regroup them. We had originally 7 times n here. And now I'm going to change that around. I'm going to have 18 and 7 that are inside the parentheses. So 18 and 7 are inside the parentheses here instead of 7 and n inside the parentheses. And so they kept the same order. That is the associative property. One more skill check here that we're going to do. This is 4 times, all right, so 4 times, and you got a bracket here, 5, and then parentheses times negative 130, close parentheses, close the bracket. So they want us to use both the associative and the commutative properties, okay? So the answers may vary a little bit here, but associative property means I'm going to regroup them, okay? So instead of grouping the 5 and the negative 30 together, we might group together the 5 times 4. And the commutative means they're going to travel. So maybe instead of the 4 times 5, we may go 5 times 4 with it and change that order too. So here's a potential solution. We've moved the 5 over here, the 4 over there. We've changed the brackets there from, since they were around the 5 and the negative 30, and we move those over here to the 5 and the 4 to group those together. Okay? All right, so those are the properties that we're talking about here, and hopefully you are able to understand those properties. And if you didn't understand them, go back and watch them again. If you struggle with this and maybe need to hear it in a different way, you can always go to afterschoolhelp.com. That is afterschoolhelp.com, and there you will find our complete curriculum for math. So you can go and check out Pre-Algebra, and you can go to lesson 2.2, and you can watch videos if you'd like, and even do some practice assignments there with After School Help. Okay, that is all for this time here, and I hope that you were able to grasp this. You need to go to the web page now and do the assignments that are on that web page. All right, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.